Boom.
Biddly, 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 but yes, yes, yo. Here we go. Ain't nobody down round here, even though we got a bit of a cold, yo. You know what time it is. Get that badger in and on and over here to move back to get his greatness in. He's also been knocked slightly askew. That must be due to some recording late last night, boys. Nobody do it how we does it. I have vigorously blown my nose before the beginning of this video, so there should be, depending on how long it goes on for, there should be less sniffles throughout, so less audible disgustingness for everybody to, because I am aware that most people are sort of sat having a dump watching these videos, maybe got their earphones in because they don't want the wife listening to, don't want the wife thinking they're watching a man while they're sat on bog, although the wife would probably appreciate that watching a man sat on bog as opposed to a woman. Not a woman sat on the bog, but while they're sat on the bog listening to a woman might make them, I don't know, maybe relationships aren't quite what I deem. But anyway, you know what time it is. Quick shit vid. What am I talking about? Got quite a bit to rattle through here. Farke has said that he doesn't like it. He doesn't like it when the squad is too big. Now, the fan base goes into meltdown when managers say this. He needs to be careful with this, doesn't he? Because obviously that's what Bielsa has reportedly said. I never actually saw him say that, because he never really said out, did he? And it's all interpreted and what have you. But ultimately, if that was said from him, then it became a thing where the angry mad Gavs of the world would be like, he doesn't want a fucking bigger squad. It's like, no, he doesn't want shit in, is what he actually means. He doesn't want a squad full of shite. He doesn't just want loads of areas full of 6 out of 10 players. He wants decent players in. There's no point working with loads of players that you're not going to get all out of and they end up just sitting in reserves and then there's just loads of them milling about the place. It's not strength in depth, it's strength in numbers, or I don't know. I've tried to make that up, but you know what I'm saying? Like, it's strength within the numbers we have, not just strength in numbers. Like, if you're off on a night out, depending on what age you're at when you're 18, it's just like, get the numbers in. Big numbers equals good night. We can all get out. Try get off with somebody. Nobody do it how he does it. As you get older, it refines, doesn't it? And it's no longer strength in numbers. It's just like, do you know what? It's mint when just like us boys go out in it, just like us three. And now it's like reducing where, I'll just go out with my brothers. And it, it just reduces as you get older. It's like, it refines and it becomes a little bit more. There's more etiquette on the night out, isn't there? Maybe not etiquette, actually, once I've had a few beers. But you know what I'm saying. He don't want a team full of shit, is all he's saying. But it's just frustrating when he says it, because I know everybody goes into meltdown about it. There's loads of nonsense rumours coming out of the club as well. I want to discuss this a little bit. I really want to get away from the Meslier Silent S stuff, but it's difficult, innit? There's been a rumour floating around that Farke's had a firm word with Meslier Silent S. And sort of, I'm interested to know what people's takes are on like how much of a difference you think this makes in general for getting a player or a manager out of the club. And I think the fans have some say in it in a way where I think, if there's a lot rattling online and stuff, I do think the chairman see it, and I think not necessarily the managers see it, but I think if the manager's looking for a way out, so if he wants rid of Mez, Silent S, we can apply a bit of pressure and then make a few nonsense. The problem I've got is the articles will say stuff like, but it seems as though his career at Leeds United is done. Now, nobody likes Meslier Silent S at the moment, but I don't know why we're into like his career at Leeds is done. Again, just pull him out the firing line, sit him on the bench for a couple of weeks, see what we can do with him. If his Leeds United career is done, his Leeds United career is done. I don't like the way it's sort of framed all the time. Like, I think his Leeds United career is done. Like, well, what do you know? You're just writing an article about a rumour that Farke's apparently had a firm word with him, which he may very well have had a firm word with him. But the problem is with this stuff, it's total tittle tattle, isn't it? It's total Chinese whispers, where there's probably a kit man, who lives at home with his mum, which is not an issue, but, who weren't even there, is my point. You're having Sunday dinner with his mum, and then he comes out, and then physio says, and he overhears a conversation, said, oh yeah, he did it. He did say though to him, we need to improve, Mez. And then from that, it's like, his Leeds career's done. I need to get in touch with Leeds Live and let my boy know. Let Angry Mad Gav know he will pass the message on, and then it ends on these videos. So I just think, I'm not on about my videos. I don't think it has any influence over anything at the club. I just mean in general, like the Twitter onslaught and the constant posting of videos and, the framing of the question is my point. Who realistically can we get in the window? The main positions are really occupied, aren't they? So we do have strength to some extent. Well, we do have strength, like in centre midfield. I know people don't think we're particularly strong at centre back, but we do have cover. I know at the moment it's looking a bit sparse, but Wobber can play centre back. I know nobody likes Ampadu at centre back, and I think him and Rodon were at fault for the first goal of the day. But I think we've got plenty in there that can. I know people don't like it when you say can do a job, but how many players are you going to think we're going to bring in, for instance? I also don't think the 49ers are just going to want to spend money on a player that'll be unusable next season, or that they'll have to get rid of, or that they'll just get in to get the job done. I think we should be able to get the job done regardless, and I think they will be quite strict on that. However, they are 100% going up this season. I think there's huge implications if we don't go up this season, and I think they know that. I think there's more implications on them than there is us as fans. But yes, the reason why I don't think they'll bring anybody in just to sort of cement a position that's not really going to play, unless it's a loanee. I think they'll take a loanee like they did Connor Roberts last year, which obviously wasn't enough. But, people wanting a Premier League player to come in and then start every game. Like, he wasn't better than Gray, was he, Roberts? So he's not going to come straight into the side. I think, potentially we could get a left back depending on how bad Firpo's injury is, and Schmidt is sat there. Are you going to get anybody better in than Schmidt? So it's a weird time, but they didn't do that at the start of the season, so I don't think they're going to panic when we're top at league and just get somebody that's going to sit on bench, really. I don't mind it. I don't really care how they want to spend the money, genuinely, as long as it's spent sensibly and we don't end up in a Ridsdale scenario. But, just in terms of like players, getting them in and it just bolsters the squad a little bit, just makes the whole thing a little bit stronger, doesn't it? Dictionary corner, all aboard the bullshit bus. Struggle to do that because my sinuses are hurting. But that Dor Turgeman, that guy from Tel Aviv, who I spoke about a while ago, to be fair, I think it were at the start of the season, or it might have been during last season, I can't remember it all. They all mush into one, don't they? But he got 11 goals in 49 matches last season, which I remember saying I sort of took piss a bit out of his return, and we're on about that's the answer when Peru, who barely played towards, in middle part of the season, got more goals than that himself in a arguably tougher league. But to be fair, he's got 10 goals in 23 this season, and he's only 21. So we apparently rate him at about 4 million, but Tel Aviv want more than that. So at 21 years old, again, that could be like, if he's a big centre forward that might get, he might have a bit of a future. I think they'll look towards a young lad that might just come in sporadically till the end of the season, and then once we get to Prem, actually it will play a part in the Prem. I don't think they're going to want to just sign someone, as I say, just for the sake of bringing them in. Also, everybody's saying it depends on what happens with Bamford and Geldart. Hull are apparently after Geldart. I spoke about Geldart yesterday. The thing is, they're on about loaning him out, but only if Bamford's hamstring injury ain't that bad. But I don't really see... Bamford's injured now, and like Geldart's still not... He's not getting no minutes, is he? Something has to happen for Geldart. It's getting like... I mean, again, the same thing on articles. It's saying his Leeds career is over. And it's like... Which, in that case, there is some argument for that, because we've been through a lot of managers now, and none of them have played him, have they? So it's not like... It's not unusual to drop Geldart from the bench. Da-da-da-da-da-da. It's not unusual to leave him at home. But yeah, I like Geldart, but I won't be doing it on whether Bamford's injuries, whatever. What's it got to do with Bamford's injury? If it ain't too bad, then we loan Geldart out. Just make a decision on Geldart for everybody's sake. I wonder whether there's a place abroad for Geldart, really. Like in even in a lower division or in a lower team in Bundesliga or something. I don't know. I don't think Hull's a particularly attractive move for him. But yeah. And then all aboard the bullshit bus. So there's a Notts Forest defender who Notts Forest are obviously absolutely flying. He's only played once for them. And he's called, this is where the dictionary corner comes in, but he's from Republic of Ireland, so you'd think I'd be able to say this, but unfortunately, I can't. So it's Andrew Omobamidele. Andrew Omobamidele, who I have actually seen play, but it doesn't make a difference. I've also seen Struijk play hundreds of times. I've seen him live, and I still can't say his name. So It's not a case of whether I know they are or not. It's just I can't say Andrew Omobamidele, which I think I'm actually doing quite well to say it, but whether that's the correct pronunciation of it, that's not why you're here. You're not here for pronunciation, and if you are, you need to go elsewhere. But yeah, he's only played once for them, and he does know Farke. Farke gave him his debut for Norwich way back when. He does play for Republic of Ireland. Apparently Forest want about 10 million for him, but it could be like a loan deal with an obligation to buy, which would make sense on the 22, he's 22 years old. Again, that could be a thing where, we do have a defender in the Prem. He went up into the Prem. He did play in the Prem for Norwich, I think, only a handful of times, or 4 times with Farke, so Farke would know him in that sense. But yeah, appreciate every which one here. Thank you all for tuning in. Channel's done right well recently, so I do appreciate you, honestly. I didn't sniffle once through that. So shit is as shit does. I hope everybody's well. Peace.
Boom.
JackCity, bitch. JackCity, bitch. Hey!
I don't wanna play no games. No, I don't wanna play no games. No, I don't wanna hear your promises. You do you and I'll do me. That's just the way it is. Don't wanna ever feel surprised. That's why I ask no.